Hey y'all. I'm good. We're about to get started very soon. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Yancy and this is the Miss Yancy Network. As you all know, today we are going to be doing some uppotting. We're going live today to do some uppotting. And then for me to answer a few of your questions, a lot of you guys have been asking me a lot of questions in the comments. And I just wanted to come on here and do this live with you all and answer some of your questions that I can answer. And then also to celebrate all of our new members, all of the new Yancy tribe. I'm so excited, all of our new tribe members. So let me set myself up and then we're gonna get started. But in the meantime, if you're on here, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments as I set up our situation. Let's see. Gotta make sure you guys can see me. So I'm just setting everything up, getting your questions together. Getting the things together. Alrighty. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Oh my gosh, y'all. Literally, Sunday is Mother's Day. And y'all know what I said, right? We are starting to plant the week of Mother's Day. And then it just so happened that on Mother's Day is my son's birthday. So I can't not transplant at all this weekend because I'm going to be too engulfed in, making sure my son has a wonderful birthday. So while I set everything up, y'all just go ahead and let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Hey. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments. And then also, I already asked you guys to let me know, like, if y'all have any questions and things like that. Some of you did give me some questions that you wanted me to answer for you. So if you didn't get a chance to comment under that post on YouTube, you can go ahead and add your questions in the comments here right now. So, thanks, Brooke. Thank you. Huh? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Can I please have the cups? I think it's right here. Or, you know what I'm talking about? They're red cups. I think I have some right there. Let me pull up y'all questions. So I need you guys to go in the comments and start typing whatever questions you have. I already have some questions that you guys have sent me. So I'm going to pull that up right now. So tonight, we're just going to be doing some uppotting. I'm really on here for you guys to, especially because it's really time to transplant. And I know everybody is like in a crazy headspace. Like, oh my gosh, okay, it's transplanting time. How do I do this? How do I do that? So I really want to come on here. First and foremost, I want to thank every single one of you that have subscribed to the channel, especially our new subscribers. Every one of you guys that started, being a part of our community this week. Welcome. I wanted to come on here, show you guys my face, tell you guys thank you, tell you guys welcome. We have a good time here on this channel. So tonight we're here to celebrate you, and then we're also here to do some uppotting. So I have some cantaloupe and I have some watermelon that I'm going to be uppotting today. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And then also, I'm really preparing for my garden workshop that's next week, Saturday. So if you're in the Baltimore area, Maryland, Baltimore area, by BWI Airport, and you're looking for something to do next Saturday, I'm doing a gardening workshop. It's very beginner friendly, and it's just going to go over the basics of gardening. You're going to get a seedling, like one of the seedlings that I'm growing, like a pepper or tomato or any of this, cantaloupe, watermelon, whatever you want, that I bring. And it's a hands-on garden workshop, so you're actually going to be getting your hands dirty. So I hope you're ready. But we'll go over that. So that's what I'm really preparing for. And then also just preparing for transplanting, because it's time to transplant. Because Mother's Day's on Sunday. The temperature has been really good. The lows has been like, 50s, which is consistently it has been 50s. I think one of these days is going to be like 46 degrees in the low. But it's fine because it's only one day. So that's what I usually tell people. You want to transplant when the temperature, the low is about 50 degrees consistently, or higher. All right, let's come and find y'all. I'm not looking. I don't know if you guys are in the chat right now and you're commenting. I'm not seeing your comments right now because I'm trying to pull up some of y'all questions. And then also, you guys can go ahead and be telling us where you're watching from. I'm just trying to get everything together. I'm sorry I had to start late tonight because, I got the children. I got to make sure, they're good and get ready for bed so I could be able to give you guys all of my time. So thank you guys for being on here with me tonight. Okay, I see a question here. Okay, absolutely. Okay, so, all right. I see what I need to, I see. Okay. Hey, Ragamuffin. How do you pronounce this name? Is it Oino? How do you pronounce that? Or is it Owen? Is it Owen? I'm not going to butcher your name, so can I call you O? Alrighty, guys, let me show you. Let's get started. We are about to get started. I got my, I got my African auntie outfit on because we gotta get dirty. We got things to do, okay? We got some things to do. So first thing first, let me show you guys what those the video you guys just watched. Let me just show you guys what they look like right now. Let me show you guys what they look like. Let me show you guys what they don't forget to let us know where you're watching from in the comments, okay? I need y'all to let us know where you're watching from. So, y'all, look at our cantaloupe. Look at our cantaloupe, y'all. So, the video you guys just watched, I think I posted it on Sunday, I think. It was the last video where I showed you guys how to start the seeds for the cantaloupe and the watermelons. This is what they look like after, I think, when did I start this? I started this, I think, in mid-April. I think I'm going to get the exact time when I started. I think I said it in the video too, in like mid-April. But this is what it looked like. It's really time for it to get out of here because as you can see, it has overgrown. And I have multiples in the, I have like multiples in each cell. So I need to, honestly, this is a lot that I don't need. I'm probably going to grow maybe like four or five cantaloupe plants because that's what I grew last year and it was perfect. Like I didn't need more than that. So the rest of it, I am going to be taking it to my garden workshop for those that choose to grow fruit. So in my garden workshop, you're able to choose between any of the vegetables that I'm growing, like the peppers, tomato, whatever, or you could choose a fruit like the cantaloupes or the watermelon. But y'all, here's the watermelon. So the watermelon, some of them died because I overwater it. I overwater the watermelon, so a lot of them are deceased. But you know, they're still good. This is what they look like. The true leaves are coming on. As you can see right here, that's the true leaves, and these are the first leaves. So I am going to, I think the watermelon, I might grow 4 watermelon plants too. But I feel like that's too much. Maybe 2. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because, y'all, this year, I am growing so many things. I need space. So, and one thing I want to let you guys know about watermelon and cantaloupe, they need space, especially watermelon. And this watermelon that I'm growing is the crimson sweet watermelon. So it's a really big watermelon. The one you guys saw in my video, they're huge. I mean, they are like, I think I had one that was like maybe like 25 to 30 pounds. So they are big. So the crimson sweet watermelon, they're super big. They need a lot of space. They need room to grow. I grew that along my fence. If you guys saw the videos from last year, I grew it along my fence. And then the cantaloupe, of course, you guys saw I grew it on the trellis. So this is what the cantaloupe, I already showed you guys the cantaloupe, but I want you to show you guys like the true leaves. So right here, these are the true leaves, and then these are the first leaves. It's just time to get out of here. And then also because if I wasn't giving these, you know, if I wasn't taking this to my garden workshop, or if I didn't need to get, you know, rid of them or whatever the case may be, I'll probably have just kept it in here and then until when it's time to transplant. I wouldn't be uppotting it at all, only because what I grew it in, as you can see, these cell trays, they're not like the regular super tiny cell trays. They're not like these cell trays, you know, these are like really tiny. So if I had grown them in this one, I probably would have uppotted these a long time ago. Probably when the true leaves came on, I would have uppotted them if I grew them in here, because as you can see, they get pretty big and they spread. So, alrighty. By the way, I know I haven't said it yet. If you guys can please go ahead and like the video, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being on here with me tonight. I want to answer some of you guys' questions. I think Ragamuffin is in the building. Ragamuffin is in the building. But let me just show you guys what we're using for uppotting. The reason why I'm doing this is because some of you may be new here. And if you're new, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. Can y'all believe this? We're going to talk about it another time, but this is a whole testimony within itself. I'm so grateful to you all for being here with me tonight. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and liking the video. I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm about to be at 5,000 subscribers. And I had projected that it would be 5,000 maybe at the end of the month. And this is like the second week in the month. So I am truly grateful to you. It seemed like it's probably going to happen today or tomorrow. So woohoo! I am also going to do a giveaway when we hit 5,000. So I'm going to, the next live that we do, I'm going to be doing a giveaway on that live to celebrate the 5K giveaway. But we'll talk more about it later. I'll let you guys know about it, the giveaways and all of that stuff. So what we're using today to uppot our plants, we're going to be using, y'all know, my little red cups, and I'm going to put them one by one individually in here. As you guys know, OMG. Oh, okay. Some of them have it. As you guys know, whatever container you're using to uppot your plants, you want to make sure that it has ventilation. Okay, not ventilation, but it has drainage holes. And in these cups, we cut some holes on the side of them, you know, to make sure that the soil can drain. And that's why a lot of my watermelons died. I overwater it, and I had it sitting in something where the water wasn't going anywhere. So it was like just sitting in water. So a lot of them, you know, they're gone. But it's okay. I'm no love lost because I have way more than I need. So I'm grateful. All right, so this is the container we'll be using. You already know the soil that we'll be using. I'll show you guys the soil I used. It was on sale for $8.99 at Costco. It's the Miracle Row organic, the organic potting soil with compost. That's what we'll be using. We already have some in here, right here. I already have the mixture in there. And of course, you already know, we're going to be using this worm castings right here. As a fertilizer, I already have some mixed in here. So that's what we'll be using. I just wanted to cover all the bases of what we'll be using to uppot and the materials that we're using. So now that y'all know that, oh man, I thought I had the other one. But you guys already know I get these from The nursery, this is where I'm going to be sitting it in. It's not going to probably be this one. Let's see if you can fit in. Oh, okay. I guess I can sit in this one. But yeah, so this is how I'm going to be transporting it back and forth, you know, outside. It's hardening already. I've been doing the hardening process. It's been sitting outside. So it should probably, by Friday, it should be completely hardening and it can sit out in the sun. Honestly, truthfully, I'm probably going to plant one of them in my grow bag, even though my garden is not ready for transplanting anything yet. But we'll see. Ooh! Let's give some shout outs to the different cities in our comments. I'm from Swain. Swain? Is that how you pronounce that? Swain? Where is that? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that ever. Hey Texas. Hey Texas. Hey Swain. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. If you guys are watching, come on, let us know where you're watching from before we get started. I will be answering some of y'all questions today. It's transplanting season. Remember, like some weeks or like a month or two months ago, I was saying it's seed starting season. Now it is, and then it was seed starting season, and then it was uppotting season. There's no uppotting season, but now it's actually transplanting. We're officially in gardening season. It is time to transplant your plants depending on what zone you're in. I am in zone 8A, 8B, and we transplant our plants in this area, or that's what they recommend. We transplant in this area the week of Mother's Day, like leading up to Mother's Day, but officially the week of Mother's Day, and that is because the soil outside has to be the low has to be, you know, consistently 50 degrees or higher. If there's anything less than 50 degrees, your plants, like things like hot weather or hot weather plants, they won't do well in temperatures lower than 50 degrees. So that's the reason why we plant during Mother's Day week, because in this area, in my zone, consistently during the week of Mother's Day, moving forward to the summer, is consistently 50 degrees or higher. So all of my, right now, I don't know if y'all can see in the back, I don't have anything on my shelves. Let me see if I could turn this. I don't know why my pillow keeps falling out. Let me see if y'all can see. Oh, y'all can't see my back. So if y'all can see the back, this is where if y'all remember, this is where I was keeping all of my seedlings, and I had all of my peppers and all that good stuff. Everything's outside. Everything is hardening outside. They're all living their best lives outside. Ooh. All right, y'all. I'm about to go get a spoon to do this. Typically, how I tell you guys how to get these out of here would be like, you know, to squeeze the perimeter of the whatever container you have it in, like seed starting trays. I'll let you guys squeeze around it, and then, you know, gently pull it out. And I guess it still works. I was thinking I was gonna need a spoon, but look at this baby. Look at all of the roots on here. This is a lot of roots. So this is definitely time for it to upgrade into something bigger. It needs its own individual pot. So, all right. So I may not need that because it's coming out. Another tip for uppotting your plants when it's time to like uppot your plants. If you know, let's say if you know that today's the day you're going to uppot your plants, maybe about like 2 days prior, don't water your plants. Just let it like dry, because it's going to be easier to separate the soil away from the roots. And you want to be very gentle too when you're messing with the roots, because you don't want to basically, you know, ruin the plant or kill the plant and when you mess with the roots. So you want to be as gentle as possible. And when the soil is dry, or at least semi-dry, the soil come off of the roots very easily, especially if you have like multiple especially if you have like multiple seedlings in one cell tray. So it makes it easy to separate. When it's wet, it's a little harder because the soil is like clamped up on it, and it's easy for you to rip, you know, those tiny little roots. You know, they're very sensitive. So, all right, y'all. Let's get this party started. And then while I'm doing this, I'll be answering some of your questions. Hey, Oklahoma. Oh, Baltimore, Ragamuffin. Are you coming to my garden workshop? Is that you that purchased tickets for you and your mom for the garden workshop? I know somebody on here purchased tickets for they and their mom to come to my garden workshop. If it's you, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I cannot wait to see you. You might be just getting one of these. But yeah, hey Baltimore. Detroit. Hey. First of all, hey Detroit, for sure. And then hey Oklahoma. Hey Oklahoma. Hey Denver. Hey Denver. Denver in the house. Okay. Okay. Yes. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Y'all keep letting me know where you guys are watching from. Y'all keep letting me know. Let me know. Are you guys excited for gardening season? I'm so excited. Let me just make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Let me get my camera situation. Okay. I think y'all can see now better. Much better. All right. Much better. Okay. So. I need to give myself some space on this table. Alright, I'm just prepping everything we need. Make this really smooth. Alright, let me go answer one of y'all questions. Oh my gosh, Melissa, really? Yay. Yay. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Yes, we will be at the workshop. Yay, Ragamuffin. Yay. I'm so glad. Oh, this is so awesome. I'm so glad you're going to be there. Oh, girl, you about to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. This ain't no regular, this is not about to be a regular garden workshop, okay? This about to be fun, I promise. We're about to have some fun. You about to sow growth, okay? Okay, Gamma said, I'm growing sugar babies in a container for the first time. Can I grow them on a trellis? Yes. You can grow sugar babies on a trellis, but make sure that you are supporting them. I don't know if you guys have seen that cantaloupe video. It's in my shorts. Or if you've ever seen like me showing any type of cantaloupe content, you guys will notice that I have it sitting in like some type of, what is it called? Like a hammock. You'll see that it's sitting like in a hammock. I used, what is it called? Pantyhose. So I had some pantyhose here. You can get it from the dollar store or whatever. So I have some pantyhose. Who really wear pantyhose these days, right? So I had some for a long time and I never got rid of them thinking I would ever wear them. So I was like, you know what? This could be useful, okay? So I took them, cut it up, turned it into a hammock, and I used it to hold my melons up. Now, with the sugar baby, when I said melons, I was talking about the cantaloupe. That's what I used. I used the pantyhose to hold them up. I used it as a hammock on the trellis. So as far as the sugar babies, because I feel like sugar babies, they're slightly bigger than cantaloupes, so they might be heavier. You want to use something a little bit stronger than a pantyhose. So with my watermelons, you know, the humongous watermelons that I grew last year, the Crimson Sweet, I had it growing on my chain link fence. So it was, you know, held up high a little bit or above the ground. So what I did to support them was I went to like a fabric store. You know, you can go to the fabric store, get some like really cheap fabric, or like if you have some old curtain, like some old sheer curtains, or you can even go to the thrift store, you know, make sure you wash whatever it is you're using and get some like sheer curtains or whatever the case may be. But you know, they're very sturdy and you could use those as a hammock. You could like cut them up, tie it to your trellis and have your sugar baby sitting in it. Because the issue here is melons are meant to grow on the ground. They're not meant to grow up high. So the gravity is weighing them down. They're pretty heavy. So you need something to support them so it does not fall off prematurely before it is ripe. And then also, when it is ripe, it will fall off. A lot of people wonder, like, when are you supposed to harvest cantaloupes and things like that? Whenever it is ready to be harvested or when it's ripe, like it detaches from the stem. So if it doesn't have something beneath it, it's going to fall down, and you don't want your hard work going in vain. Okay, so make sure you support it. Oh, Melissa said, sure wish I could join. Hey, Mississippi. Hey, Hyattsville. Are you coming to the workshop? Are you coming to the garden workshop? Let me put the garden workshop link in here because I'm seeing a lot of people from my area. I'm seeing a lot of people from my area. And you know what? When we hit 5K, if you're in the area, I will do one of the giveaways. I think I would do is for somebody to get a free ticket to come to the garden workshop. So if you're in the DMV area and you really like to attend my workshop and you can't, afford it right now to come and you would really like to come, let me know. I'll do a giveaway where maybe one of you guys gets to come. Okay? So I don't know when I'll hit 5K. I don't know where I'm at right now, but I know I'm very close. So we're going to have some fun giveaways for the 5K. And then for those of you that's far away, you're still going to get some fun stuff too. All right. Yes, Ragamuffin. I cannot wait. I can't wait to meet you and your mom. I love you guys so much. Okay. I understand. Because a lot of you guys really wanted to come to the workshop, my intention is to do a virtual workshop maybe after this in-person one. I mean, obviously it won't be the same because it's virtual, and the people that are coming in person, I have to make it extra special for them because they're paying the coins to make it special for them, and it's going to be hands-on. But I would still do something equally as exciting, but you're just going to have to purchase your own products, whatever it is you're trying to go. But I'll get more into that after our workshop, so I'm just really trying to focus on it. You guys, if y'all could do me a favor and just share those workshop videos with whoever you know may be interested. If they're in the area, share with them. I really appreciate it. Also, if you can come and you want to donate to the workshop for somebody else to come, or if you just want to donate to the cause, you can also do that. So let me get that link and put it in there for you guys. And Ragamuffin, I'm about to answer your question. I think I saw a question from you under my post. So I'm about to answer your question as we're doing this. I'm about to answer your question. Hey, Seattle, east of Seattle, AB. Also, what do you use to make holes in the cups? Okay, I'm about to show y'all live. I'm about to show y'all live how I put the holes in a cup. There are different ways I put holes in a cup, but let me show you guys one of the ways. Babe, can I please have the scissors if you see it? Let me show them how we put holes in a cup. Thank you. Thank you, babe. So, guys, this is the link to the gardening workshop. If you guys are interested or you want to share with someone, I appreciate it. Okay, so, oh, thank you. The link is there. So if you guys want more details about the workshop, please go ahead and click the link and it'll give you all of the information. All right, so this is how I put holes in this cup. So before I started doing it this way, I used to just get a knife. I would literally get a knife and hit it in the middle because I'm too lazy to do all that extra stuff, okay? A hole is a hole. So I just get a knife and split it in the middle like this. But now I got fancy, okay? So I saw this girl do it on, I think, was it YouTube or TikTok? I saw somebody do this. So what it did was like just get the scissors and cut around on one side and then, you know, cut on the other side. And then that just put like holes. I don't even know if y'all can see it, but I hope so. But like, you know, there's a hole right here. There's a hole right there. And so that's it. It's not easy. It's not hard at all. Thank you so much, Melissa. You're so kind. Ooh, it's so hot. All right, let me answer some of the questions that's under the post. All right. All right, Ragamuffin said, can we go over some tips for bug control in the garden? Ooh. All right, so for me, right, I think when it comes to bug control, depending on which bug you're dealing with, um, there are different solutions to it, right? But a generalization of dealing with bugs, I know there's like a lot of pesticide, but me, I am an organic grower. I grow my food organically, and I do not like to use pesticides. So some of the things that I did use, so there are two parts to this answer I'm about to give you guys. Last year I was dealing with things like slugs. I dealt with those bugs that was eating the squash bugs. I didn't really deal with aphids. Um, and then those nasty, oh, what are those nasty bugs that's like everywhere? Everybody has them now. They're like trying to like suck the pulp out of the vines of like your grapes. I forgot what they're called. They start off black. Are they lantern flies? They start off black and then they turn big and gross, and they creep me out. So also the white butterflies. So if you guys don't know what the white butterflies is, if you ever see a white butterfly, if you are growing any kind of brassicas, like collard greens, uh, broccoli, cabbage, or anything of that sort, and you start to see those really beautiful white looking butterflies around it, I'm gonna need you to get a torch and burn that down, okay? They're not your friends, okay? They're not your friends. They're there to cause problems. So those were the things that I dealt with in my garden. So with last year, with it being so many bugs, one of the things, so I started going crazy was trying to figure out what was the best way to organically get rid of them. So I seen stuff about neem oil, but once I started learning about neem oil, didn't really work for me. And then number one, it didn't really work. And then number two, the neem oil, it was too strong. I felt like it was, you know, killing the beneficial bugs, things um like the bees and things like that. So it's like you had to spray those type of things, you know, at the right time. So like when you're dealing with like pests control, you if you're using any type of pesticide, you want to spray them super early in the morning when the insects and stuff haven't awakened yet, or in the evening when they have gone to sleep, especially like things beneficial, things like the bees that pollinate your garden. Like we need the bees, and I'm like a bee protector. So because it was just too convoluted. It was just, you know, it was too much. It was like, and the neem oil wasn't really working. It was just, and I was afraid to like kill the bees because I really love bees. They're my besties. So I still have neem oil from last year. Can you imagine, like a whole thing? I didn't like, I just stopped using it. And then so I bought another thing that I bought was, it's called diatomaceous earth. So is it DE or DT, whatever? I think you guys know what it's called. I think DT, diatomaceous earth. I think that's what it's called. It's like a white powder, and how it works, if you sprinkle it, you know, over whatever area, the problem area, and I think it like skeletalize the insects. I think it eats them from the inside. It eats their skeleton, and that's something that can also kill bees and other beneficial bugs. So I had an issue with that as well. So then I went. So these are just different ways to deal with bugs, right? You guys can use it and see if it works for you. But I'm just going through what I went through as far as like trying to deal with the different bugs in my garden. And then I did the whole mixture with Dawn soap and warm water, and it works because what it does is it makes, when you spray it on the plant, it makes it kind of slippery, so whatever bug is like going to slide off. And it also yeah, it worked, but it was just like, I don't know, it was just kind of messy. I hated the fact, even though I know, I hated the fact that I was spraying soap on my food. like Dawn soap. I hated the fact, even though it was very diluted, I just hated the fact that it was touching my soil. I'm like, I want to grow my food organically, and I don't want to put soap on my food. So, and then for those nasty caterpillars, which comes from the butterflies, the white butterflies, that's what I use the diatomaceous earth for. The diatomaceous earth, it was just kind of messy to me, so I have like a whole big thing here. I just stopped using it. So to be honest with you, oh yeah, with the slugs, I did salt. I did the beer can method, or the beer method, where you put beer into like a little shallow bowl, and you place it near your plant wherever the slugs are eating. And slugs, they're alcoholics. They're really attracted to the yeast that's in the beer. They love the smell, so they're gonna go come and get drunk, and then they drown because they can't swim. And so that worked a lot because it got rid of a lot of slugs. And then I've also found something else. I think it's called Sluggo, and they're like little capsules. They look like little capsules that you could just spray around, and when they eat it, I guess it killed the slugs. It does work. What else? But I'm sorry, I have gum in my mouth. Ultimately, with the bugs, I just found that you had to cover your plants. You have to get insect netting. And I think this was one of the questions that somebody had about raccoons and all these different things getting into their plants. You have to get insect netting. Insect netting is going to be a best friend. I know we all want to grow our food, out in the public, like the way nature intended it to be. But you also have evil squirrels. You have a lot of evil animals that also love the beauty in your garden. They love the nature that you're providing. They will attack it. So I think the best way to protect your plants from things like that is to just put insect netting on top of everything until it gets to a place where the insect netting can no longer be over it and it has gotten bigger. By then, you have already created like a habitat where the predators, where like the things that are eating your food have their own predators, and the predators are coming to eat it. For example, I had a wasp nest in my garden last year, a huge wasp nest, and it was the one with the white, I forgot the name of it, but it's like the most aggressive one, the one that's very territorial, and wasps are typically very territorial. But we learned to get along. In the beginning, it was being very aggressive to me, very territorial, letting me know that this is my garden, and this is where I live, you need to back up. But the more it saw me, those things are very intelligent. The more it saw me, the more it saw that I was not trying to be in this way. I was just getting my work done. It was busy doing its own thing. Those wasps killed a lot of the insects that were eating my plants. They, including those lantern flies, like the black and white bugs, all of the major bugs that was in my garden, the wasps, they got rid of them. As well as I had snakes in my garden, unfortunately, and I know some of you guys are like, hell to the nah, to the nah, nah, nah. I'm the same way. It's like I need to figure something else out. But I do think that the snakes did help in my garden, help get rid of a lot of the pests and things like that. But yeah, ultimately, it's like my garden was an ecosystem where everything was working accordingly. And after I stopped using like a lot of those pesticides and things like that, I just let nature take its course. And I know it can be very jarring, especially when you see that something ate your leaves, and it makes you feel like, oh my God, like it makes you feel like your plant is gonna die, or it makes it look ugly, because who likes seeing all those bite marks on their things, right? But ultimately, it's going to fix itself. If you just allow nature, it's going to fix itself. That's my experience. I'm not telling you to do it. Do what works best for you, but those are all the different options that I did. And for the most part, some of them worked, some of them didn't, and I just stopped using any pesticide. I just allowed nature to be nature, and I allowed the predators for the praise. I let them do what they needed to do, and everything was wonderful. And I was like, it's just very tricky using pesticide in your garden, because you could possibly kill a lot of the beneficial bugs in your garden. And once I started, like, ever since I started gardening, I was never much of somebody that cared for bugs and things like that because I didn't know much of their value, you know, in our ecosystem. But like gardening, you're gonna learn a lot about the different insects and bugs and things like that, like things you've never known existed. You're gonna learn a lot about it, and you're going to learn the more you garden, you're going to learn, you know, how to leave certain things alone, or you know how you may not even have to do this because this other thing is going to take care of this thing. So I hope I kind of answered your question. That was a very long answer, but I hope I answered your question. I hope I answered your question. Let me come and look in these comments. Yep. Let's see. I hope you guys are liking the video. You guys are liking the video, right? Because I would really hate to be, you know, annoying you guys to ask you guys to like my video. Just like it, okay? So I don't have to keep telling y'all. Yeah, let's see. Cabbage moth. Yep, that's what they're called. They already got my eggplant. Oh, wow. The beloved. Those white butterflies are the worst. Let me tell you guys, when I started seeing white butterflies in my garden, I was like, oh my gosh, my garden is so beautiful. I have white butterflies. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Oh my gosh, I feel like, you know, Little Miss on the Prairie, like, you know, all the beautiful things. Let me tell y'all, the prettiest things in the garden are usually the deadliest ones. Okay? Yeah, diatomaceous earth. Lord, however you say that. If I messed up the name, you'll know what I'm talking about. Thanks for writing in the comments. What about covers? In your opinion, do you think they work? Yes, I think covers work. The only issues, you have to use, if you're talking about for insects, you have to use insect netting, not bird netting. The insects can still fly through bird netting because the holes are still kind of big. You have to use like mosquito type netting. The only issues with using those though is, for example, if you have things that needs to be pollinated for it to grow. Okay, baby. If you have things that need to be pollinated, you might have to hand pollinate it. You might have to hand pollinate it. That's the only issues with covering up your plants, is you might have to hand pollinate stuff. But I personally believe once they get big, like to like an adult size, I guess, a mature size, I really think you can remove the cover. Because for the most part, by that time, one of the ways to get rid of insects that I did not mention was growing like a ton of flowers. You know, growing like a ton of smelly flowers and herbs. And all of my, that's what I failed to mention to you guys. Maybe that's also one of the reasons why they didn't attack my plants as much. I had a ton of herbs in all of my garden bed. I had basil, rosemary, thyme, oregano. I had a bunch of that stuff. Like, just let me get rid of this stuff. I had a bunch of them in my garden. One second, y'all. I had a bunch of herbs in my garden. So I believe that they also helped. My biggest issues that I had though was the evil squirrels. That I call them evil squirrels because they're really evil. They would actually be staring at you, eating your vegetables. Like they would give you eye contact. Like, and what? Yeah, and like when I tell y'all, I was putting on boxing gloves for the squirrels. All right, let's see. Yes, eggshells. I definitely use eggshells, y'all. I wish I could show y'all this. I have crates and crates of eggs shells that is waiting to get prepared. So what I do with the eggshell is, eggshell provide like a lot of different things. Yes, you know, you can sprinkle it, you can like smush it or whatever, crush it and sprinkle it around whatever plant that may have slugs, and the slugs, you know, their skin is like very fine, and the eggshell can slice them up. Oh, slugs are so disgusting. I really hate thinking about those things. They can slice them up, but I feel like I did that too, and they were still finding their way on my plants. And then somebody once said, I think I said it in one of my videos, that if you grow, especially your peppers, in the beginning when you plant your peppers, because they're so close to the ground and the leaves are so lush and beautiful, oh, the slugs love it. So one of the things that somebody told me was to plant eggplant, like the purple eggplant. Their leaves are like really big. So they're like, plant eggplants with your peppers as a companion plant. And the slugs will be attracted to it because the leaves are really big and lush, and they will be attracted to it and go there to eat it. Because if you don't really care about eggplant and growing it, that's not what you really want to eat anyway. You're just using it to distract the bugs. That's something that you could also grow to attract them. But to be honest with you, I feel like they ignored my eggplant. The eggplant was like the best looking thing in the pepper garden when it started to grow. So, ragamuffin. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I already answered you. And ragamuffin, you're going to be at the garden workshop. If you have like any special questions and things like that that you want me to cover at the workshop, definitely let me know in the email or whatever so I can be prepared for you. Okay. All right. She said my grandma used beer. Yep. And I started using beer, right, for the slugs. And then I started getting mad. I'm like, why not? I was like, I don't care if it's cheap beer. They tell you to use cheap beer. And I'm like, I don't waste alcohol. That's like wasting alcohol. I'm like, I don't waste alcohol. I want to drink it. So my husband, I told him, I was like, oh, they said use like cheap beer, when you're doing this, to attract the slugs and things like that. And he went and bought, I don't know which brand it was, but it's called the champagne of beer. If y'all know which beer or whatever it is. I'm not really a beer person. So he bought it, right? It's called a champagne of beer. So I started to use it. And then one day I had like an extra can in the refrigerator. I was like, let me try this out. Why is it called a champagne of beer? And I tried it and I really liked it. And he was like, this is like the cheapest beer ever. He drinks beer, so he knows all the good stuff, right? And he was like, you like this? I was like, yes, it tastes so good to me. It really tastes like champagne. Hey, Alaska. Yeah, so I was really upset that the slugs was drinking my drink. Hey, Alaska. Wow, Alaska. What's that zone? What is that zone? Is that like zone 4? Oh my goodness. Um, snakes give ABT says snakes gave me a heart attack, but respect for your existing with them. Excuse me. I never said I existed with them. Absolutely not. We don't coexist. I know they're there, but they're in hiding. You understand? We caught 4 snakes in my garden last year. The first snake I saw, y'all, that video is like viral. I have that on. If you guys don't know, I have TikTok. On TikTok, my name is Miss Yancy Gardens. So if you guys want to follow me on there, I post a lot on TikTok too. As a matter of fact, that's how I started posting gardening content, was on TikTok. So I have a little bit of following on there. In that particular video, I think it has like 130,000 views. It was when I saw my first snake in the garden. I was literally standing on the chair. Called my husband to come and get me because I was not getting down. Absolutely not. And people in the comments was like, the snake could crawl up the chair, right? I don't care. At that moment, all I know is I was climbing up the chair. As a matter of fact, if I could climb on the trellis and get to the top, I was going to do it. I was so scared. Like, my heart skipped a beat multiple times. Oh my God. I do not coexist with snakes. I know their benefits, and they're extremely beneficial for the garden because my garden was thriving last year. You guys saw what it looked like. It was, it definitely was a thriving garden. And I know it had a huge play in my garden being what it was. I just don't want to see it. So we caught 4, and my husband always took it like to the woods to, get rid of it. But I know they're there. I know they're hiding. And the way I set up my garden, I have my grow bags sitting on, they're not planks. What is it called? Like crates, like shipping crates. They're like shipping crates. I have my grow bags sitting on them. I don't let my grow bags sit on the ground. I let it sit like on top of those. I think they're called crates. Maybe I'm not saying it right. Maybe one of y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's like wood, and they use it for shipping. I had my grow bags sitting on them, and I really think a lot of snakes live under them because there's like holes under those crates and stuff. I think that's where they live. And I think they be watching me prancing around my garden like, if only she knew. So yeah, absolutely not. I don't really mess with those, but I recognize their benefits in nature and I respect it. Wow, zone 4A. So when do you plant outside? So I can imagine that you're not transplanting outside right now. Do you have to wait till like June to transplant? Amy said, "Hello, I had a military dude remove a snake for me." Y'all, when I saw that snake, I was panicking so bad. Like my neighbors, like my three neighbors, the one that's like across from my garden, the house across from my garden, the house that's next to them, and the house that's next to mine. Like they was all out there, like, girl, what is going on? I was like, is there somebody we could call to come get rid of this? I was ready to call 911. I was ready to call 911. I mean, I haven't had to call them in a very long time, so I was like, man, we paying taxes for them, so we might as well, right? I'm just playing. I'm like, might as well. I can use my one little 911 call for them to come and get this snake out of my backyard. And one of the things that I really dislike is people who are so pro snakes and they recognize, they know the value and things like that, and they try to like make other people that are afraid of snakes, like they try to shame you for being afraid of snakes, and they will say things like, "Oh, you want a garden, but you want a garden in nature, but you don't want nature to be there," stuff like that, and it's like, what? I could still be afraid of things. Like that is like one of the most ridiculous things that you could say is that somebody shouldn't be afraid of something just because they enjoy doing something. I mean, like we all have fears, and I respect all everyone that always want to tell me the benefits of snakes and why they should be there. I respect it. Trust me, I'm a very thorough person. I'm sure y'all already know because I'm very long-winded in my videos because I like to be thorough and give you guys accurate information. So I do a lot of research. So I just want you to know, trust me when I say I know all the things about snakes and what they mean to our environment, and I respect them for it, but I still have the right to be afraid of them because we all have fears, and that is one of mine. So if you see somebody talking about them being afraid of snakes or whatever it is they're talking about, don't tell them not to be afraid. Like that's not going to make them not be afraid, or giving them all the fun facts about how wonderful snakes are or whatever the case may be. Like that really doesn't help. Okay. um Ooh, I do carrots, potatoes, and onions right now. Oh yeah, you have the perfect tent for that for sure. I hope you cover. I'm pretty sure you probably have been doing this before. I'm not sure, but I don't. And also, I don't know how it is because it's cooler in Alaska. I wonder if y'all don't deal with this, but the the alien leaf miners or allium leaf miners, however you pronounce that. Those are the bugs that attack onions and garlic, and they would destroy it. They're those type of bugs that you cannot see because they're so tiny, but they lay eggs inside of your onions and your garlic, and they start decimating it little by little without you even seeing it do it. And once they lay their eggs, it's pretty much too late. So that's one of the things that I would advise everyone to cover is like their onions and garlic, at least until maybe after a couple of months. Pallets. That's what they're called. They're called pallets. So I sit my grow bags on pallets. I will give you guys a tour of my garden. I'll show you guys what it look like now, and I'll show you guys like a empty, and then how I lay it out for how I'm gonna grow this season. So I'll show you guys like I'll film. I think I'm gonna film some videos next week of that to show you guys like the layout of my garden, what it looks like empty. I have a video on YouTube right now of what it looks like. It might be slightly different, depending on if certain things happen that I'm crossing fingers to happen. I'm trying to like get some new beds and things. So I'll show you guys my new setup, and then this year I'm using a lot more grow bags. So I will show you guys how I set that up. And then pallets, they're really good in your garden. So you don't want your grow bags to sit on the ground because they deteriorate faster. So if you have it sitting on pallets, it's like elevated, and it keeps it from being looking nasty, all that good stuff. I do have some on the ground. The ones I have on the ground is for like my watermelon, but like I have some sitting on pallets and things like that. Ray Muffin said facts. I don't like the bugs, but not scared of snakes. I get it. Yep. All right. So let me go to the next question that I got. So I'm just going down the list of questions. There's not a lot of questions that I got under the post. So I posted, if you guys don't know, I post a lot on the posting tab on my channel. So if you guys go to my channel where it says post, I post there a lot. Like if I'm going live, if I drop a video, or I'm doing like a Q&A or whatever, right? So that's where I'll post like quite stuff, especially when I'm going live. So I posted there that I'm going live tonight, and if y'all have any questions, to write it in there so I can cover it for you guys tonight. And then also I would really like to welcome, I don't know how many subscribers we have right now. I would like to welcome all of you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I really hope that I am able to guide you in this season of your gardening so that you can have a successful harvest and a bountiful harvest. So thank you guys for trusting me to help you grow your food, because we are in the times of where growing your own food is very pivotal, or just knowing how and having the concept of knowing how to grow your own food. Because man, I don't need to say what's going on. You already know what's going on in, you know, the world and in America right now. So just knowing how to grow your own food and having a concept and the basic knowledge of how to make something grow that you can eat for your family and provide for your family in case of emergency or whatever the case may be. I think, first of all, I'm so proud of you for wanting to even take this journey, because this is something I feel like is so important to learn how to do, amongst other things. So congratulations. Not only are you taking the step to grow food for you and your family, you're taking the step to be healthy, because you know what you're growing your food with. And for the most part, I know you guys are going to be growing organically. And if you don't, no judgment here, because I know some people just cannot stand the bugs and stuff like that. If you have to use certain pesticides to get rid of stuff, you know, do what's best for you. I would not, you know, shame you at all. I just prefer to grow organically. But I'm just want to say I'm really proud of you guys, and thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you guys for being a part of our little family that we have here, and I cannot wait to see how far this go, because this was never my intention to even be doing this. I started my garden because it was just where I was mentally, and it brought me a lot of peace. I was not in a good space, and gardening brought me a lot of peace. It brought me purpose, and I started to see God in nature, and it taught me a lot of things. And so I really was enjoying it, and I posted it on TikTok occasionally, and I saw how it impacted other people. And that's what drove me to even start showing it on YouTube. And I started sharing it on YouTube. I was like, oh, I guess, you know, people do enjoy this. But I always told myself that if I'm not enjoying this anymore, meaning, you know, filming content, because most importantly, my mental health is more important to me, and I garden for my mental. And yes, you know, I'm providing food for my family, but it really makes me feel good. It's like free therapy. So I told myself that once this started becoming overwhelming, like filming, you know, content and stuff like that, that means I don't want to do it, because I just want to be in nature. You know, ultimately, that's my goal. So thank you guys for making it a pleasant place to be able to share and, you know, expand on whatever this is, because this wasn't my intention. Where it's going right now is unbelievable, and I'm just grateful to you all. So that's what I really wanted to come over here and tell y'all. Thank you so much for always liking the videos and subscribing. I really appreciate you guys. All right, so let's go to the next question. Hi, Cece. All right, so let's see the next question. Hello, Miss Yancy. I guess my question would be the different definitions. I haven't seen you on here, Crafty Susie. This is your question. I don't think I've seen you in a live chat. If you are watching the bushes, I got you. I try to keep up, but girl, I like, what she said? I try to keep up, but girl, like cross-pollination and volunteer and companion planting. Help me out. Okay. Yeah, so you have 3 questions here. One second. I'm trying to get you an accurate so one second, y'all. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Melissa. I really appreciate you guys. You guys make it very easy to do, for sure. It's not easy, but you guys make it, let me say, y'all make it very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. And I love the gardening. One of the reasons why I love the gardening community, I feel like it's one of the most positive community, and they're one of the most like gracious. I have never met another gardener that has not been kind and willing to give information. Like, I haven't met anybody that's like gatekeeping information, because why gatekeep? Like, we can all learn, like this is like one of the most important things to learn how to do. And that's the reason, like, whenever I find something that will benefit you guys, I will always tell y'all. And if I find a cost effective way of doing it, I'm going to tell y'all. Like, I'm never going to gatekeep on how I do anything on here, because what's the benefit in you winning and everybody else is still struggling? Like, I never understood that concept. But all right, let's answer Susie 3 questions. All right, so Susie, cross pollination is basically when like a like the bee uses pollen from like one flower to pollinate like a different plant. So that's what cross pollination is. I'm not sure how detailed you want that to be. Typically, that will happen if, let's say, one so last year I only got male flowers for my cucumbers. I didn't get any female flowers, so I only got male flowers. So where cross pollination would have came in is if the bees went to my cucumber male flowers and got the pollen from the male flowers and like took it to, like, let's say my cucumbers, and pollinated my cucumbers with the pollen from my pollinated my cantaloupe with the pollen from the cucumbers. So that's like cross pollination. So if you want, I don't know if you want to go in detail with like that particular question, but then volunteer. I think you're talking about volunteers, like when people say, "Oh, this was a volunteer." Like, for example, I showed you guys my lettuce, and I told you guys that these were volunteers from last year when I grew lettuce in that same container and it went to seed. And when I harvested the seeds, some of the seeds fell back into the pot. And this year they grew. Those seeds that fell into the pot from last year, mistakenly or whatever, those are called volunteers because you did not intentionally put the seeds there to grow. They just started growing because they volunteered to do it. That's the best way I could really put that. That's what it, and this is me just assuming this is what you're asking because you didn't really give a lot of context to your question. But if that's what you're talking about, like a volunteer plant, that's really what it would be. And another example would be when I like idiotly, or that's not even a word, but like when I did some one of the craziest things that you could do, which is compost seeds, especially tomatoes. I put a lot of tomatoes into my compost, and I did not remove the seeds out of the tomatoes. And so last year when I went to put the after they had composted, and I went to spread the compost in the different garden beds to basically be like a fertilizer and mix it with my soil, I had like millions of tomato volunteers because let's say in my pepper bed, I had tomatoes in there. I would never grow tomatoes and peppers together. Not because they're not good companion plant, which I know that's one of your questions. Which is not because they're not good companion plants, but it's just peppers, they grow like up. And some tomatoes, like indeterminate tomatoes, they're tomatoes that vine, they vine off. So it's like they need a lot of space. They need to go on a trellis, or whatever the case may be. So they need some type of support, right? Because they vine off, they go in different places. Their leaves are super big. So that's why I wouldn't companion plant tomato and peppers together. So that was an example of a volunteer. So the seeds that I put into my compost bin, and now they have been spread all over all of my garden beds. So if I had broccoli in one bed, tomatoes was grown in there. My intention was not to grow tomatoes in the broccoli bed, but it volunteered, because the seed got there some way, somehow. So that's a volunteer plant. And I'm not sure if that's helpful, but hopefully it is in my explanation. And then companion planting is when you plant two plants together that may grow well together because they may not require the same type of, they either uh no, they don't require like the same type of growing style, like a companion plant that, because you don't want to plant two plants that will be competing for the same nutrients. So when you're companion planting, you want the two plants that you're companion planting with, you want it to be plants that will not compete for the same nutrients, but they will benefit each other with whatever bugs that they get, the beneficial bugs. And also, like, so a good companion plant would be like, for example, would be like if you planted what is it what is a corn. So if you planted like corn and beans together, corn and beans are like really good companion plant because beans, they do not have like deep roots, and corn, they have really deep roots. So the beans is not competing with the corn nutrients, and you can use the corn uh, as a trellis for the beans to grow on. So that's what companion planting is, like growing things that may not compete with each other, and then it's also like you maximizing on your space. So that's like just one of the examples. I'm sure there's like a deeper, and I could probably create a video too, because that's a really good. That's like the questions you just asked. Those are really good questions, especially for beginner gardeners that's not sure to go in detail about. So I might do a video to go more in detail with that. But if anybody else in the comments can give like a better explanation, please feel free to go in the comments, because at the end of the day, we're all learning here, and how you may explain it to her or whoever, they might understand it better. So that's that. Yay! Hi, Marva. Hi, Marva. Good evening. Ragamuffin said, I have some cucumbers growing, still young, but how do I'm saying, how do you know if it's a male plant? You're talking about the male versus female flower. So the female flowers, so there are two flowers that's gonna come on your cucumbers. The female flowers, they're the ones that's going to be the cucumbers, pretty much, right? So underneath the flower, so let's do this. Let's say this is the flower, right? Let's say this is the female flower. Underneath the flower, you will see like a baby looking cucumber. It will look like a baby cucumber underneath of it, and then the flower will be on top, and what's holding it will look like a baby cucumber. Now the male flower will look like this. It will just be the stem. It will be like a skinny stem, and then the flower is on top. That's the male flower. You get it? Let me know if you want me to explain that some more. So that's the difference between the female flower and the male flower. Last year it was extremely hot, so I didn't get. I'm assuming that's the reason why I didn't get a lot of female flowers. But I got some female flowers, but it wasn't enough. I got way more male flowers than female flowers. Ooh, it was so upsetting. But yeah, so the male flower has like a skinny stem on the bottom of the flower. The female flower is going to be a little chubbier and is really like a baby cucumber, because once the bees go and take the pollen from the male and basically impregnate the female, that's the big cucumber that's going to come from that little tiny cucumber you will see underneath the flower. Was that educational? Judith said, "Hi, Miss Yancey. I'm assuming you're saying Miss Yancey. I planted some watermelon seeds 6 days ago, and I saw a seed sprouted. Yay! If the seed sprouted, please go ahead and remove the dome cover or plastic, whatever you have covering it. Remove it. Let it sit under the grow light if you do have it under grow light, and allow it to do its thing. It's gonna come up. Don't forget to like the video, y'all. Please don't forget to like the video. If you're watching and you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because you're gonna love it here. And then also, if you're in the DMV area and you're watching, please go ahead. I have my garden workshop next week, Saturday. It is hands-on. You are going to get one of these beautiful plants to plant in your garden or on your balcony, whatever small space that you have. You're going to take it home in a container, and you're going to actually plant it yourself into a container at the workshop. So it's hands-on. You're going to get dirty, but I'm just going to provide you a lot of the basics of gardening and how to start a garden, how to maintain it, and a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be really fun. So get prepared to get your hands dirty. The link, I have it pinned in the comments. So click that link. If you can't make it and you would still like to donate to the gardening workshop or to the cause, or like to sponsor somebody else, that I have the donation link there as well if you want to do that. Amy T said flowers usually come first, more and then females and mix. Don't give up if you only see male flowers only at first. I agree, that's true, but literally the entire growing season was all male flowers for me. And I'm not sure where you're at, but in my area, I'm in Maryland, zone 8A. Everybody had the same issue. Everybody had the same issue. July was extremely hot. We had a drought. It barely rained. There was when it did rain, it was like some hurricane. I can't remember what hurricane from last year. I think it was Helena, came and literally knocked over all of my corn and destroyed my garden. And that was the rain that came. It was like an over surplus, right? But yeah, so I agree with you though. When it comes to gardening, never, like, I would say, if you're somebody that gave up easily, if you're somebody that's just impatient, if you're somebody that like instant gratification, gardening is not for you. You might want to take your talent somewhere else, because gardening requires a lot of patience. Even when it looks like your plants are dying, if it looks like things are eating, the bugs are eating your plants, you know, and things like that, trust me, it's going to bounce back. Just continue doing what you need to do. It's going to bounce back, because that was my situation as well with some of my peppers. I had some peppers last year where they didn't look good. I didn't think they were going to survive. I just planted them, and I was like, I'm gonna let go and let God. And whenever I watered, I paid no attention. When I say I neglected those peppers, and they were the peppers that produced the most peppers in my garden. So let that sink in, okay? As male flowers, that is. This is it. Vanessa said, what do you recommend for protection against wildlife, like netting? So depending on the wildlife, so I was telling, I don't know if you was in here earlier, I said that use insect netting, like bird netting, especially if you're having like a lot of insects and things like that. And it's still, that helps protect from wildlife too. If you have like those nasty groundhogs that don't give a freak, and they will use their long, nasty Cardi B nails and slash it open and try to get up in there, I would say use like bird netting. Bird netting is like, and it sucks using bird netting, because sometimes the birds can get caught up in there, and if they can't release themselves, they're gonna, you know, die. But it really works. Bird netting works from the animals, because I think it's because of the way it is. It's like, it's so easy for them to get caught up in there. Insect netting is like, it's like mosquito netting. It's very smooth. And bird netting is like, it can be tricky. You know, it's like a contraption. It's easy for them to get like tangled up, but I think it helps. And it also, what are those things called? I can't remember what they're called, but they're like wires. They're almost like, I can't remember the name of it. When I remember, I will come back and write it under this video for those of you that are interested. But you know, like harder material, like harder material protection, pretty much. But yeah, you're going to need to cover yourself, or, you know, surround it with like bird netting, or I forgot what the thing is called, but I'm sure if you type in, I could type it in right now. Amy T said, that's such a bummer. Yeah, maybe the weather. Also need to watch for tomato blight in cool, wet, early summers. Yeah. Yep. I think I had tomato blight on 2 of my tomatoes. To be honest with you, I don't know if it was blight or if it was the soil. I think I had too much. That's another thing. Be careful with how much you fertilize your plants, because it doesn't need that much fertilizers. Like you don't need to, because it's very easy to over fertilize. If you are gardening in like a raised bed, I know we are the ones that's providing the nutrients to the plant versus if it was growing in the ground. If it's growing in the ground, the plants find its own nutrients from, in the ground. It finds water and it finds its own, nutrients in the soil. Uh, but when you're growing in like a bag, like a grow bag container or anything like that, you're the one that's providing the nutrients. Be very careful with not over fertilizing. That's why I like using a lot of natural fertilizers, things like worm castings and the banana peel water, and then also I compost. So I think one of the things for me was compost is all, it's like your own natural fertilizer. It's like you creating your own fertilizer. And so if you have compost in there and then you're adding all this other extra fertilizers just to make sure your plant is this, down, and third, it can also work against your plant. So I think that's what happened to two of my tomatoes last year. I don't think it was blight. I think it was the fertilizing situation. So I have to watch out for that in my soil this year. And then another great thing that you can do, you could test your soil to see all of the things that your soil contain. I know here, I think you could take it, you can mail it to like your local, I don't know what they're called. Like for us, we mail it to like College Park. It's like a research program, I think, for their agricultural department or whatever. And you can mail like your soil to it, and it could tell you like all the cultures or whatever it is that's in your soil, so that way you can know like, okay, my soil has too much of this, or my soil is lacking this, so then I could add more of this fertilizer to make sure that it's balanced. I know that's being hella extra, but people do that. People test the soil to see what the soil contain and see what they need more of or less of, and also to make sure that their soil doesn't contain any toxic things in them. I have birds and sometimes wild turkeys. Hmm. All I'm gonna say is that turkey won't be wild no more running through my backyard. Cause honey, I have a nice grill and a smoker in my backyard. And baby, when I tell you, I know how to season a mean turkey. Okay. When I say I would season that turkey down, as a matter of fact, I would give it a lot of nutritional things for my garden to make sure it is nice and plump, to make sure it is eating very well for my grill. Okay. I would. Let me tell you, I'm not gonna say too much just in case PETA is watching, or those animal people. I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm gonna just tell you, I have a grill and I have a smoker in my backyard. I would love to see a turkey running wild in my backyard. That's all I'm gonna say. Amy T said, look up Reme for floating down cover. Yes, floating roll covers. Yep, floating roll covers. Plants or tool from a fabric store. Yep. Also linen lining a garden bed with some fine metal mesh. That's what I was talking about, like the metal ones, the metal mesh. I think if you have things like groundhogs or like the evil squirrels, or any of those type of animals that don't give a freak, I feel like the metal ones work really well. The insect netting work too, but I feel like some of them they have like really sharp nails, and it would like meticulously try to tear it. But man, I'm just telling y'all right now, just be prepared. And I feel like there is such a thing of being over prepared, because you don't want to just go out there and be spending too much money that you don't need to spend. So wherever you can get free or cheap stuff when it comes to those things, because at the end of the day, one thing I would tell you is animals, the animals that are outside, they're wild animals. So they survive. That's their element. They know how to survive in their element. So they're gonna if they're hungry, they're gonna find a way to get food. Now let me tell y'all, in my neighborhood, I feel like everybody and their mama grow tomatoes. So last year I had so many tomato plants, and I was trying to give it to everybody that lived in my neighborhood, and it was like, girl, we have like a whole tomato farm in our backyard. We don't want your tomatoes, okay? Nobody was trying to take my tomatoes. And I feel like it's gonna be the same way this year, because I have a ton of tomatoes. But and because of that, the animals that we have back here, they're not interested in tomatoes. You would think they would be content that you grew a whole tomato bed for them. They don't want tomatoes. They want to eat everything else that they don't have. They said there's a surplus of tomatoes in our neighborhood. They don't went to everybody's backyard. All they have is tomatoes. They try to eat other juicy stuff. So you are going to deal with animals. Just be prepared and protect as much as you can, but don't overdo it. Don't spend too much money. And if it's not as fantastic this year, there is still next year. You're going to learn what you're going to learn this year and implement it next year. Don't be disappointed in anything, you know. With all things, just give thanks and, you know, be grateful that you tried. I know it can be extremely disappointing when you work so hard on something, from starting indoors with your seed babies and then, you know, taking them outside to the harsh world and trying to get them to survive in it. But, you know, nature is going to nature. I just don't want you guys to not, you know, overspend money, because I definitely was one of those people that did. But what I've learned is that Facebook Marketplace is there, and I know there are other apps and groups on Facebook that you can go in to see if people are getting rid of stuff that would be beneficial to your garden. Yes, Thanksgiving at Miss Yancey in the summer. Thanksgiving at Miss Yancey in the summer. Let me tell you, I love me some smoked turkey, okay? They're my favorite kind of turkey. As a matter of fact, I don't really eat chicken. Chicken is not my thing. I love smoked turkey. I cook with smoked turkey. We used to cook here every Sunday. I used to go live every Sunday to cook, and I just haven't had the time to do that in a while. That's why y'all haven't seen me do it. But I used to go live every Sunday to cook something cultural from my culture, and you all saw that literally the meats that I cook with was seafood and smoked turkey. So if I saw wild turkeys, I would love to see a wild turkey in my backyard, because you know how much money I would save? Oh my goodness. Um, what time did I start? Because I need to make sure I need to be good with my time today. I gotta let you guys go soon. All right, so let's see. Dang, I haven't even started uppotting these plants. Lord have mercy. I don't even know why I be pretending like I'm about to do that, but I am. I need to uppot them. Amy said, "LOL, the evil squirrels. We have rabbits too. LOL. We literally wanted to use a pet fence around the garden beds, but didn't want to spend the money." Yeah, it's really bad. But like those metal fences work too. But just the metal what is it called? Somebody said it in here. I don't know if it was you, but like the metal netting. Is it the metal netting? Just make sure when you're buying those, make sure they're the ones that have they have really small spaces. Don't get the ones like with the huge spaces. Like a chain link fence. Don't get those kind of things to cover or protect your stuff. You need to get the ones that has very very small space in it, because the squirrels can like their body is soft. They can wiggle their way inside of like a chain link fence, like the space that's in between them. They can wiggle in there. So I said, "Ooh, thank you, Amy." Oh, then a flame. Okay. Yes, the metal mesh. I have moles too. So my first year of gardening, about 3 years ago, I was growing corn, okra, and let me tell y'all, when I tell you guys I transplanted, like I was so excited. I did all this work, right, that y'all seen me do. Start with my starts. Went outside, transplanted all of them in my nice garden bed. Oh, I was so proud of myself. I just knew I was about to get some corn and okra that summer, okay? And the next day I came back, all of it was like rooted up. And not only was it rooted up, they ate the roots. So like I couldn't even go back and replant it. They actually ate the roots of my corn. I was so devastated. They ate the roots of my corn and my okra. And that's when I learned that things like voles and things like that, they love the roots of plants. And I was like, oh, hell no. I mean, I felt so defeated because it's like you work so hard. So it was like, oh my gosh, now I have to start from seed again. And that was what I was trying to avoid. I started early so I could get an early harvest. Now I have to replant these bad boys and start from seed. I was like, you know what, whatever. And then also with the birds, you know, when you plant your seeds, you have to cover it up because the birds love seeds. They're gonna come and eat it. So you're fighting all kind of things out there, and that's funny because those are the big ones that you're fighting. But the real gangsters, the real gangsters, they're the things that you can't see. Okay, those are the real gangsters. And then I think I told you guys about my uh, grapes, how the birds had like an extended family reunion at my grapes on the trellis. And I'm not, I know when I say that, I know y'all think I'm trying to be funny. I'm really not. Like, I really think they went and gathered all their peoples. They gathered their extended family. The extended family invited their friends. You know how when you having a party and you invite one person and then they went and invited somebody else and that other person invited somebody else? That's what it was, okay? They had a feast with my grapes. And let me tell you, those grapes were so delicious. Oh my gosh, it was so sweet. They were Welch's grapes. They're like I said Welch's grapes. They're Concord grapes. The reason why I said Welch's is because like the grapes off the vine tasted like Welch's grape juice. It was so like, and it was that sweet. And I used to always think, I was like, man, Welch's grape juice is like one of my favorite grape juice. So, but I always felt like they probably put a lot of sugar in it. But those grapes, with the sugar content was so high, I was like, if these people are adding sugar, they're like, that's a heart attack right there, because the grapes was that sweet. And those birds, honey, they were having a time. Like, I wish I had a video of me and my broomstick. I have a broomstick near the outside of my house just for chasing birds, and the birds, the evil squirrels, and the what's the big nasty ones that live under the shed? Groundhogs. Those groundhogs, they be walking like somebody grandpa, like acting like they own my backyard, you know, coming, they live under my neighbor's shed, and they'll just be walking, coming over, climb over the fence, and I be watching it like climb over the fence, and they'll just come and like be chilling in my garden, seeing which leaves they want to eat. Like last year, their favorite thing was the leaves of my watermelon. Like they'll go sit in my watermelon grow bag and just be having a fun. And they were like, the way they eat it, it's like you would think that I came and I served them, like I was their waiter and I served them like a platter, and they're eating it so meticulously, like enjoying the view of my garden and just going to town. I'm like, and because they know me so well, as soon as they hear my door open, mind you, my door is far away from my garden. They have really good hearing. As soon as they hear the door, like I turn the door, they go speeding off because they know I'm about to come out there. So I did this thing where my husband, I had him like record the groundhog while I was going out there to turn the door. As soon as I went out there, it was gone back under the shed. And they have their whole family and generations that live under my neighbor's shed. I just wish they would get rid of that shit. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Amy said, I came to terms by planting some for nature. Yeah. So that's also a good idea. If you have the space, you could have like a little bag or container or whatever, like a little spot where you do grow some extra seeds there, where it can distract. It's like you're growing it for the animals that are living out there that's coming to, you know, eat your food. And if you grow like a little, you know, something up to the side for them and let that be theirs, they typically will leave your garden alone because they already have a place to fulala in. Vanessa said, thank you so much for the information. I'm about to write down some notes. You're so welcome. Amy said, yes, each year you learn more and grow as a girl. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to plant something on the far side of my yard. I think I'm going to do that this year too. I think I'm going to do that. Regular Mother said, that's a bit too organic for me. Backyard turkey. I mean, they're turkey. I promise you, Regular Muffin, I promise you, if I caught that turkey and I seasoned it the way I season my food and grill it or smoked it, if I don't tell you that how I got that turkey, you don't know. You be like, can I get some more? See, you ain't even gonna know. Castro Don, have you ever grown watermelon out of a 5 gallon bucket? Absolutely not, and I don't recommend it only because, um, okay, you're growing in a bucket. Okay, it's a bucket. So is it like those tall buckets from like Home Depot or like those painting buckets? Like the I don't know how many gallons. Is that a 5 gallon bucket? I think you can. Cause when I think about a 5 gallon, I'm thinking about 5 gallon grow bags. And I'm trying to see if I have one here. A 5 gallon grow bag is not that big, and watermelon has like really deep roots, and it almost watermelon almost grow like the way, because the way I saw it in my soil last year, it looked like it was like a tree almost right inside the soil, and then it grows the vines and things like that. So if it's like one of those painter looking buckets, I think you can, but you can only put one plant. Watermelon requires a lot of space. I grew my watermelon in a 30 gallon grow bag. It requires a lot. It requires a lot of room. So, Amy said, "Yeah, I know what you mean. Chicken wire. Yes, that's what it's called. Chicken wire. I don't know. Something's going on here. If you have bunnies, how you know I have bunnies? Why was that the thing I forgot to mention? Remember how I told you guys the pretty things are the deadliest one? They're the ones that cause the most destruction. That's a bunny. And bunnies, I never knew bunnies were that sneaky. Bunnies are so sneaky. I was like, okay, is this a sneaky animals in the animal kingdom? Like bunnies are really sneaky. They get their job done very sneakily and disappear. And this year, when spring started, I saw so many fat bunnies in my backyard. Like, I mean, they were chubby, like chubby bunnies. Remember, I have a compost bin near my garden, and it's kind of open a little bit on one of the sides, and I think those bunnies have been like hibernating near it or there. I've never seen so many. I was like, man, I wish I liked bunnies because they would have been on my grill too because they are very ripe looking. And those bunnies, they eat my strawberries. I don't care how I try to protect them. And yo, let me tell you how disrespectful the bunnies and the squirrels. I think squirrels are more disrespectful because they will do it in your face. Because literally, the squirrels came on my patio. They got my strawberries and came on my patio in front of my door and was like eating it, standing up eating my strawberries. But the bunnies, oh my gosh, they love them some strawberries. They be eating all my strawberries. Uh, MET said, oh, okay, I already read that. A grateful gardener, hey, you can come get some of these wild turkeys here in PA. They travel in packs. Nah, I don't know if I want the ones that travel in packs. They might try to, square up and try to fight me. They might try to fight me. Miss Lady said, hey girl, hey. Oh, you're in South Jersey. Hey Jersey. Sharonda, hey. I have peas that are really tall but look thin. Is it time to uppot and get a trellis? Seedling is about 4 weeks now. Yeah. Peas grow really, really fast. If they already have their true leaves, it's definitely time to get them out of that container and go and plant them wherever they need to be. I don't know what zone you're in, but if you're in a zone where you can plant outside now, I would definitely suggest that it's time. And yes, they do need a trellis because they vine. You said no. Lost corn and okra both. Yep, it was tragic. Am I behind on these comments or something? I feel like I'm behind. Like, Miss Lady said, "When we chest beat hurting." Seeing them animals debo your stuff. Okay. I think I missed some. Oh, CC said the most I have here are new songs. Yes, gangster for sure. Yes. The lady said they know the whole family done lined up for the buffet. Okay. You are so funny. Keep making content. Your classes will be fun for sure. Good luck this season with your garden. Cracking up at the bird party. Water served. Ground. Waiter served groundhogs. Man, I don't know. They crazy. This lady said, oh, what Cece say? Cece said, I had onion going to seed this year, and the onion were upright one day and laying down on its side the next. Alien, I don't know if you are indicating that it was an animal that did it, but or if it was the ALM, the allium or allium leaf miners. Oh, those things, they do their work. Those are the real gangster. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of insects that are gangsters, but the alien leaf miners, they work the way they work. You can't even see them. You have to like get a magnifying glass. And the way you know that they have attacked your plants is if you see like little white dots going up like a straight line. So let's say if this was your what is it called? Onion or garlic, and this was like the stem or the leaf. If you see like white dots, they will go up like in a straight line, like dot, 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 dot. If you see any of those small white dots on there, your onion or garlic has been compromised, and there's nothing you can do about it. You could try to spray it down with all types of stuff, but at that point, it might be a lost cause. Those are the real gangsters of the garden. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, or you're saying that one of the animals did it. But the alien leaf miners, those bugs. That's why I tell everybody, if you're growing onions and garlic, make sure you're covering it up with insect netting. Um, Miss Lady said, I thought about planting stuff around the perimeter just for the animals so they can leave my stuff be. Yes, if you're able to do that, that would definitely help. But it's like that the issue here is it's like they need time to grow big unless you're already planting them big where they will have an impact because it's like they also have to grow big, right? Some of the things that do help, which I plan on growing. You guys already saw. Actually, no, you haven't seen it yet. I haven't dropped that video yet. But I started my herb seeds. I'm growing like sage. I'm growing like a bunch of like smelly herbs, and my intention is to put it around the perimeter of my garden because the animals don't like a lot of like smelly plants. They don't like the smell of the earth because it's too strong for their little tiny nose. So my plan is to, I already have lavender. I have lavender. I have rosemary, things like that. My plan is to grow it around the perimeter of my garden, and things like rosemary and lavender, they're cold hardy, so they could stay there, throughout the year. Lavender, thyme, and rosemary, they're cold hardy. So they're things that grow like a tree. So if you have those type of herbs, and then also they're herbs, they're really good for you, and they are really good in dishes. So if you have those things growing around like the perimeter of your garden, I think they help as well as like flowers and things like that. They help keep some. They won't keep all of them out, but it definitely help keep away some of them. And it also is very beneficial for your garden because the pollinators will love it. Sharonda says she's in zone 8A. Okay. Oh, Castro said yes. Yeah, 5 gallons. 5 gallons is too small. Um, CC said I grew watermelon and the tap root was 2 feet. Wow, deep. And the side roots were over 4 feet long. Wow. You're right. They need plenty space. This year I'll be growing in 30-gallon grow bags instead of in ground. Yeah. Um 30-gallon grow bag. They need so much room to grow. They need so much room. Like they need so much room. 5 gallon is very you can grow things like peppers and tomatoes in a 5 gallon grow bag. But like watermelon, they need room. Oh, it's a beast. Hi Terry. 30-gallon grow bags for watermelon and other melons like honeydew. Mm-hmm. Sharonda said help. When I said true leaves, okay, so this is a cantaloupe plant. So the first leaves are the first leaf that when it germinates that comes up, right? So this is the first leaf that it's like the first leaf that comes up. The true leaves is the second set of leaves that come after the first leaves. So like for example, this is my cantaloupe. This is the true leaves. These are the leaves that came after these. So these are going to fall off. They're going to die and fall off because they're just there for photosynthesis to help the plant grow. So they've already done their job. So they're going to, die and fall off. And then these are the ones that matter. This is what's going to, create the fruit and whatnot. So that's why I asked you if they were the true leaves or the first leaves. And I need to go back to your question to see what your question was too. Oh, you're in zone 8A, so like it is time for you to plant, right? You guys, the temperature is good. Let's see. Sharonda, I'm trying to see your question. You said something. Oh, your peas. Was it your peas? Yeah. I think you're talking about your peas. Yeah. Uh, Miss Lady said. Oh, the moles ate your roots. Yeah, they're terrible. Cece said, "I'll look out for the leaf miners too." Um, Look out for them. If you haven't seen any, if you haven't noticed anything like that, you should go ahead and just cover it up with insect netting just to avoid it. I know that after the plant mature, I think the the leaf miner, they start early. Like they start early. Once you plant your starts or whatever it is into the ground, they come early. They come to lay their eggs. The eggs are so tiny, it's really hard to see. Like I don't even know how to tell you how to see them. They're really, really tiny. You just see the aftermath of what happens after the eggs are hatched. So I would say cover them up because that was one of my biggest disappointment was my corn and my garlic because those are two things that is a staple in my home that I cook with in every meal. So it was something I really wanted to grow, and boy, was I disappointed. I started. It was like more than 50. I had more than 50 onions and garlic, and they grew beautifully. And then one day, they all started laying down, going to sleep. And as they were laying down, they were just, it's like they were being eaten up, but you can't see what the hell is eating them. So it was like, okay, this is weird. There's a ghost in my garden. Uh, Miss Lady said, okay, that's what I'm doing, growing, but everything is so small. Yep, herbs is a good idea around the perimeters, and herbs you can use it for tea, you can use it for cooking, you can use it for so many things. So even if you feel like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of herbs, it smells good. Herbs are great to grow, especially since they hate it. uh, Amy said, "Oh, another good pollinator for near squash is borage. It will fill up with bees and easy to grow. Good idea." Oh, by the way, I don't know if I told y'all if that's in my other videos. I think I mentioned it. I'm not starting squash or cucumbers now. I am going to wait until like July to start them because by then a lot of the vine borers or the squash bugs and those things, by then a lot of them should have ventured off or died or whatever. Wherever they go, they would have been gone there, and I don't want to deal with them. So I'm gonna wait till like July to actually start cucumbers and start my squash and things like that. I'm not starting them now. I'm so proud of myself because when I tell y'all last year I started everything at the same time in March, and it was so overwhelming because it was like everything requires a different way of growing and a different time frame, and it just everything just have its own special attention that is needed for each plant. Everything do not grow the same. So unfortunately I started everything at the same time, and it was a disaster. Even though you guys saw that my garden looked wonderful, but I was trying to grow way more than that, and a lot of it wasn't successful. So even though like yes it was great, but it could have been better. uh Miss Lady said, why do I keep calling you Miss Lady? Is it Miss Lad? Miss Lad RJ? I'm so sorry, I don't know if I keep saying Miss Lady. I'm growing two in a 15-gallon grow bag. Should I only do one? If you're talking about the watermelon, I think so. I think you only, especially for that. So okay, my 30-gallon. Actually, you can probably grow two in there. Yeah, because my 30-gallon, I think I was growing four watermelon plants in there. I think I had four watermelon plants in mine, and then I had like a marigold plant in there. But man, watermelons, they spread. They're the leaves are very beautiful, but they really spread. Miss Lassett, I grew watermelon in 7-gallon grow bags, and I got melons, but they were only the size of a 5-year-old head. It's so funny you said that because like my daughter is about to be 5, and I'm just imagining a melon in her head. That is so funny. Um, so probably it was like the size of like a cantaloupe. Then her head is not the size of a cantaloupe, but I'm thinking that's probably what you're saying. That's so funny. Yeah, they watermelon needs space. It needs water and it needs fertilizer. But we are growing it together, so I'll give you guys all the information. She said it took forever. Maybe that's why it wasn't in a correct grow bag. Oops, I meant to say flower you can grow to attract pollinators. Oh, the barrage, yeah. Starting barrage is easy and low maintenance, but many bees to help pollinate the squash. That's a good idea. I think I'll look to see if there are starts. I'll go to the nursery. So my plan is to go to the nursery to buy a lot of herbs and stuff like that because I didn't start a lot of stuff, but not to only go to the nursery. I think I'm gonna go on my group. So I'm in other garden group that's local. Thank you guys for being in my garden group. If you're not in it, please go ahead and join our garden group. But also make sure you find a local garden group within your area, within your zone that can also help you and guide you with what's happening in your area. So for me, I'm giving general information for everything, but in your environment, in your specific environment, it could be different. And like, I'm in a DMV area and I'm in zone 8A, and how we do things here may be different than how you guys do things. Like I said, how over here the rule of thumb is to put everything in the ground the week of Mother's Day, because and then generally you don't want to put anything outside until the temperatures are 50 degrees or higher anyway. Especially things that requires heat like peppers and tomatoes, and things like the squash and cucumbers and stuff, they don't like the cold. So just make sure you guys join like a local garden group in your area that also you can be familiar with people in your area. You can have like community in your area as well. That is also where if people will be having things that they're giving away, or you too may be having things that you want to give away if you overgrow too many things and you don't want to go through the process of selling them and you want to give things away to the community. So I think it's really great to have a community within your community. So uh simple living, hey, where do you buy your seeds? I purchased from MI Gardner. So I don't do I'm not I don't do no special seed place. I go to the basic Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, the dollar store. Like, they're seeds. A seed is a seed. What matters is how you grow it. Okay? That's what matters. A seed is a seed. There is no special. I know, like, yes, things like heirloom seeds, those are special, right? Because those are the original seeds. So if you're looking for like heirloom seeds, then you want to go, and find out. But a lot of the times, they're labeled heirloom if it is an heirloom seed. But I don't go to nowhere special. I And then also, I might, if I want to grow exotic things, I go on Etsy, because a lot of people on Etsy are international people. So that's where I get a lot of like my international like exotic things like jute leaf. Um, what else did I get from there? Just exotic things. I will go to Etsy and go to like you know, people like me, you know, I'm on Etsy and I sell seeds because I harvest them from my garden. So like I will go and support those people like on Etsy. And then yeah, Facebook Marketplace. I don't buy seeds from special places because I think a seed is a seed and it's about how you grow it. You know, that's just my opinion. Uh, please don't listen to me. Keep doing what you do. If it's successful, do whatever is successful for you. I do what's successful for me. If it doesn't, what works for me may not work for you. So do what's best for you. Amy said yes, I do that. Where you start everything at once and water the same soil, and I learned some soil needs to be well drained, like basil, and some plants need less water. Yep. And like to dry out a bit. Yep. Like peppers. Like everything don't require the same thing. And I really did it different this year. And one of the things that I did, I would create a video for you guys to go more in details, is to have like a garden journal where everything you did this year, write it in a journal. Like when you started your seeds, when they sprouted, the germination time, when they germinated, when you uppotted them, when you transplanted them. You know, like I know it seems like a lot of work, but just try to do it. It's not that much work. Try to do it so that next year you can see what worked and what didn't work. So after and then next year you can go over it, look at your journal, and be like, this is what I did for this, and you saw how it worked out in your garden. You're like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna do it this way. But you now at least you have history of what you did, and you know what to do, what to continue to do if it was successful, what not to do if it wasn't successful. You know, all of that stuff. So it's just a good way to track. What time is it? Ooh, y'all, we got like 2 more minutes. And I didn't uppot anything, so I really have to let y'all go because I got work to do. Okay. Thank you guys for being on here with me. Go ahead and click the like button. All right, so let's see. Yes, I do that. Where you? Oh, I already read that. I tried the watermelon in a half whiskey barrel, and they were the size of peaches. You guys are comedians. With your experience, the next you'll get bigger watermelon next time. Happy growing. Oh, Cece was replying to Ms. Ladd. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm not laughing at y'all because I also have had mishap. Okay, I'm not laughing at y'all. I promise. Gardening with Chevelle. Happy garden. Shalom and blessings. Good information. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for being here with us tonight. We appreciate you. Alrighty, y'all. I promise I was not laughing at y'all. That was funny. She said the size of peaches is hilarious. Not even hilarious. Hilarious. Thank you so much. You're welcome. All right, y'all. So I've been on here for an hour, I believe. And I really wanted to come on here once again to tell all of you guys thank you. We're about to be at 5K subscribers. I don't know where we're at right now. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead. Click it, click it, click, click, click. And we will be doing a 5K giveaway after I transplant because my focus right now is transplanting. So after I transplant, but I'll give you all the information. We will be doing a giveaway for 5K, and they're going to be really nice giveaway. Also, if you're not a part of the gardening group on Facebook, what are you waiting for? Let me get the link for you right now. Okay, right now. Let me give you the link right now. And you guys can go ahead and join the group. Because first of all, I am loving the pictures you guys have been sharing. Please share your gardening in there, okay? Share your gardening. We want to know what's going on in your garden. One second. Also, like while I'm doing this, if you guys have any last questions you want to ask me, please go ahead and do so. So I can hurry up and answer them, and I can let you guys go on this Wednesday night. I know some of you guys have work in the morning, and I need to continue preparing for my garden workshop that I'm having next week, Saturday. All right, y'all. Here is the link for the garden. I mean, that's not the garden workshop. The link for the Facebook group. If you're not part of the Facebook group yet, that's the link. Go ahead and join our Facebook group. Please share pictures of all your beautiful starts, your garden. I want to see pictures of your garden layout. If you're on a balcony, if you're on a deck, if you're in the backyard, whatever your space look like, I would love to see like your setup. Show us pictures of your setup to give some other people inspiration too, especially like the beginner gardeners and stuff like that. Yeah, so share a little bit about yourself. It's really like the gardening group is for us. I'm sure there are people that will be joining it that's not following me on YouTube, but it's really like it's for us. It's our community to just share our garden this year and our experiences. And I just can't wait for when you guys are sharing your harvest. It's gonna be so exciting. So go ahead and share, okay? But yeah, so that's one of the main things I wanted to tell you guys tonight. I wanted to come on here, celebrate almost going to 5K, celebrating all of our new members or our new tribe. I wanted to tell you guys thank you for that. I appreciate you guys for all that you do to make me so happy. I hope I am reciprocating that for you as well. I hope I'm giving you as much value as possible. If you are in the DMV area, again, join me at my garden workshop next week, Saturday. It's from 2 to 4 p.m. and it is going to be a hands-on workshop. You will get to take one of these seedlings home, some extra seeds, just a bunch of stuff. I have the link pinned in the comments, so if you want to check out or get more details about the workshop, I would love to have you there. And if you cannot join us because you're far away or you just cannot join us and you would like to sponsor somebody else or just donate to the cause, you could go ahead and do that too on that link. And we'll see you next week, okay? Thank you guys so much. The garden group, of course, and everything else. Like if you need anything for your garden, I have my Amazon store, my Etsy store. I have seeds on there. They're on sale, y'all. I don't know when they go off sale, but they're on sale right now. All my seeds in my Etsy store, they're on sale. So if you guys want to cop all the information I'm gonna have in the description of this video or in the comments, okay? Alrighty, y'all. Let's see. Y'all don't have any more questions? Excellent advice, Miss Yancy, for us to keep a garden journal. Yes, I think it's a great thing to have like your garden journal is going to, and it shows you like over time the more you're gardening, it just shows you like where you came from, right, and how far you've come, and now you can become your own expert. You can become the person in your family that is teaching others, and you're going based on the things that you've learned in your past. So I think it's a really good idea. When would you be doing another live video? If we hit 5K, I may do a video. I might go live on Sunday, which I'm anticipating that we will hit 5K. But Sunday is Mother's Day, and it's my son's birthday, so I don't know. So that's still, I'm gonna leave that out in the open. But definitely for sure, I will go live next Wednesday. I'm trying to be consistent with going live on Wednesdays. It seems like it works for a lot of people. I know Wednesday and Sundays, they're like the best times like for people, I'm assuming. Yeah, so, but remember, if you are in my garden group, or if you look at the post, if you have like your notifications on, and when I post, I always post when I'm going live on the YouTube page. And I also post it on my Instagram. If you guys are not on my Instagram, it's at Ms. Yancy Network. Everywhere, okay? Facebook, all that good stuff. You'll always know when I'm going live. So I'm aiming for maybe Sunday evening, depending. But since it's Mother's Day and it's my son's birthday, I don't know yet. And it's Mother's Day. I think I need to be off, right? But yeah, definitely next Wednesday for sure. Happy Mother's Day to all. Yes, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Okay. All right, y'all. So if you guys don't have anything else for me, I will let you guys go. Please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and once again, welcome to all of our beautiful new garden fam. You are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment, okay? Happy gardening. Bye, y'all. see. Bye, 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 y'all. Happy gardening. Don't forget to like the video, y'all. Now I finally get to go and actually uppot these. Okay?